Hello, this is Mr. Bacon Bits, and welcome back to Xenoblade Definitive Edition. The last few story chapters have been really heavy on information and such, but we're finally back on the Bionis with the full party, just with some changes. Most notably, Shulk's Monado right there is now a replica. But anyway, I mentioned at the very end of the last video that a whole boatload of stuff has opened up at this point, so before we move on, I'm here to point out the stuff that'll be useful to you. Don't worry if some of these things are too difficult to do right now, I just wanted to make them known. I apologize if this takes up a huge chunk of the video. First, there is an interesting quest in Satoral Marsh called the Imperial Ceremony. It is similar to the story quest that you did there long ago, only the radiants you have to collect are scattered around the entirety of Bionis. But once done, you get the High Entia Emblem, which is a key item used to access certain rooms that were locked by special emblems before. You can get some nice rewards from those rooms. Now we move on to skill trees. Every single party member can now get their 5th skill tree, so I'm going to get into them. First is Shulk's. If you do the entire quest line from Emmy Leader and Colony 9, the ones with a young captain in the name, you'll be able to access the final one, which, depending on your choices, will be either a young captain's trust or a young captain's survival. Regardless of which one you ended up with, clearing it will get you Shulk's Bravery skill tree. Let's take a look at it. Bravery will increase Shulk's critical hit rate when selected, and the first skill is Fate Evasion. This gives a boost in EXP when vision tags are destroyed. Nice! Next is Hero's Privilege, which gives a trading bonus of 20%, making trades that much cheaper to perform. Next is Lone Warrior. It raises agility by 20 when a party member is down. I feel this will be pretty good on Dunban. Next is Ultimate Defense, which boosts the party's physical and ether defense by 10%. Seems like a pretty good buff. Finally is Glorious Future, which maxes the talent gauge after a vision. This one's incredibly helpful with most party members. I don't think Rhine needs it particularly, since his talent gauge already charges fast, especially with a couple of his arts, but Dunban, Fiora, Ricky, and Melia can benefit a lot from this. Sharla's the one character where you do not want her talent gauge to be filled, so don't link it to her. Next on the list is Rhine. Also in Colony 9, there's a boy who will give you the quest Friendship Tokens if you've already cleared Pride and Courage. This sends you off on material scavenging in Tephra Cave, which has actually opened up significantly because of the Bionis' movement. There's a lot of really high-level enemies that you'll need to fight, so you might have to wait a bit on this. But either way, Rhine's Camaraderie skill tree will be unlocked for beating this quest. Let's take a look at this one. Selecting this skill tree boosts Rhine's defense. It might be fairly worthwhile to stick to this one once all his skills are acquired. The first skill is Ties of Friendship, which increases the chance of a chain link, which continues the chain attack. Linking this to everybody will be beneficial. Next is Shoulder to Shoulder. It heals the party by 10% after a chain attack. Next is Flying Start. It grants a 15% haste buff for 30 seconds after a successful burst affinity. Next is Solitary Fight, which grants a 25% strength up buff when a party member is down. Finally, Friends Forever increases affinity earned by 15% when encouraging party members in battle. This will be pretty darn good to use when trying to max out affinity for everybody. Moving on to Sharla, this one requires Betrothal Test in Colony 6 to be completed, which also has prerequisites. More info is on the Colony 6 side quest videos, but anyway, you'll get a quest from Don Argentus called Stopping the Elopement. Depending on your choices, your objectives will change, but regardless, clearing it will grant you Sharla's Affection skill tree. Let's look at this one. When Affection is selected, it boosts Sharla's max HP. Speaking of HP, this skill tree has a bunch of related skills. The first one is Vote of Confidence, which increases healing by 25% when warned of a vision. Next is Bedside Manner, which simply boosts healing arts by 10% more HP. Hearty Cry is next, which restores 10% of max HP with Burst Affinity. Next is Shield of Kindness, which gives a 75% chance to reduce ether damage by 25% for 30 seconds with Battle Start Affinity. God, that's a lot of prerequisites. Finally is Miracle of Love. It restores 20% of max HP to the remaining party members when Sharla, or anybody this is linked to, is incapacitated. Next up is Dunban. Orcatics at the Hidden Machina Village will have a quest for Dunban involving collecting a handful of parts. After clearing, Dunban will earn the Enthusiasm skill tree. Let's take a look at it. When this skill tree is selected, it boosts Dunban's strength. The first skill is Charge Acceleration, which grants a haste buff at the start of battle. Next is Counter Rage, which increases the chance of counterattack by 10%. Ardent Strike is next, which increases tension gained after a critical hit. Deadly Determination, it increases tension gained when using arts by 10. Finally, Blazing Aura. It fills the party gauge by 20 when activating an aura. On to Melia. Ancient High Entia Mystery will be available at Aerith Sea after finishing either investigating Satoral or Talia's research. They're mutually exclusive. Either way, talk to Talia to start the quest. Finishing it requires the High Entia emblem I mentioned earlier, and once done so, Melia gets the Passion skill tree. Let's take a look at it. Selecting this skill tree boosts Melia's Ether. 100 Ether boost with all skills obtained is a pretty nice boost. The first skill is Nonchalant Heart, which reduces lost tension from failed attacks by 5. Next is Awakening Strike, which increases damage against sleeping enemies by 50%. Fairly situational skill, honestly. Next is Telethia Killer. When you have an aura, it increases damage to Telethia by 50%. Again, it's a pretty situational skill since it only applies to specific enemy types. Passion of Flame is next. This extends Melia's blaze duration by 20 seconds. Finally is Rejection of Evil, which reduces spike damage by 50%. Incredibly useful skill. See if you can have it linked to your other party members when you're fighting an enemy with annoying spikes. Ricky gets his as well. Final Challenge of the Sage from the Nopon Sage becomes available in Magna Forest. Of course, you have to do the previous Nopon Sage quests first, but this quest involves defeating a level 96 monster. Might be a bit before you can do this like Rhines. But once done, Ricky's Heroism skill tree becomes available. What does this one do? Highlighting this skill tree boosts Ricky's critical hit rate. The first skill is pretty basic. Heavy Equipment, which allows heavy armor to be equipped. At least this means you don't need that linked to him once you get this. Next is Nutritious, which increases strength by 50. Next is Kissy Kissy, which reduces party gauge usage by 50% when reviving party members. Unfortunately, this can't be linked to others, so this is a benefit only Ricky can use. Next is Ouchies, which increases spike damage you can deal by 25%. There are certain character auras that can give you spike, so that's who you can link it to. Finally is Cuddly Hero. It decreases the chance for the character to be hit with debuffs. Finally is Fiora. This skill tree is extremely situational, but regardless, Battling brutes can be accepted from Dunban near the refugee camp in Bionis Leg, after having cleared a flower for a rose. This requires you to defeat 2 level 98 big bosses in Tephra Cave. Again, another one you probably can't do until a lot later. But once done, Fiora's Innocent skill tree unlocks. Let's take a look at it, but again, it's really situational. Selecting this skill tree boosts Fiora's Ether Defense stat. The first skill is Maiden's Power, which improves chain attack damage when in battle with Shulk. This is going to be a pattern. Maiden's Courage, which increases arts damage if warned of a vision, but only if Shulk is in the party. Next is Maiden's Blessing. It restores HP when taking damage if you're in battle with Shulk. Maiden's Zeal prevents very low tension if in battle with Shulk. And finally, Maiden's Miracle, which grants a buff to all her stats when encouraged by, you guessed it, Shulk. Really weird to have a skill tree that literally only works if you have a specific active party member, but at least you can take advantage of the Ether Defense buff otherwise if you have it selected. Well, that was pretty good. You might notice the footage I was going through had the characters at much higher levels. I kinda had to wait with getting this particular video rendered, since even expert mode wouldn't get me to those levels at this moment. So, even though I covered those skill trees, I currently don't have them. Either way, let's talk about the shop inventory and junks. First, the guy with the backpack has weapons and arts manuals.
Yes.
We've got a Rex Biter for Ricky. Gonna buy that. Clarity Staff for Melia. Delta Rifle for Sharla. Cloud Cutlass for Dunban. And Knuckle Driver for Rhine. Might as well get all of them since they have slots compared to the anti-mechon weapons we still have. And of course there are still some intermediate art manuals that we don't have yet, mostly for Fiora, so might as well get them. Okay. Next up is the guy right next to him.
Hello.
He sells arts manuals as well, as you can see right here. Some are new. I'm gonna buy them real quick. But this guy's specialty is armor. So let's take a look at this stuff. First up for headgear, the new stuff is Retrieved Gear, Ether 3 Goggles with Debuff Resist 4, Speed 3 Goggles with Aggro Down 5, Attack 3 Goggles with Arts Heal 5, and Power 3 Goggles with Aggro Up 5. Still not at the point where we can get good armor pieces for Fiora that have open slots. Might have to go monster hunting for that. Now for torso gear. We have Brave Top, Gemini Armor, Ether 3 Frame with Attack plus 5, Speed 3 Frame with Haste 5, Attack 3 Frame with Attack Stability 5, and Power 3 Frame with Damage Heal 5. Next for arms gear, we have Retrieved Gauntlets, Ether 3 Arms with Ether Up 5, Speed 3 Arms with Agility Up 5, Attack 3 Arms with Strength Up 5, and Power 3 Arms with Good Footing 5. Legs are next, starting with Brave Bottoms, then Gemini Leggings, Ether 3 Boosters with Ether Up 5, Speed 3 Booster with Agility Up 5, not sure why it's named Booster instead of Boosters, Attack 3 Boosters with Strength Up 5, and finally Power 3 Boosters with Topple Resist 5. finally are the feet. Retrieved boots. Eris drones that give Fiora gun drones too. Lucina drones that give her cannon drones too. And Uranus drones that give her sword drones too. That last one is pretty damn tempting. Sword drones is like her most damaging talent art. So you know what? I'm gonna get it. Aside from that, the shop inventory has updated at Fallen Arm itself, along with there being a second shop right beside him. But really, all you should be looking for are the intermediate arts manuals for things you don't have yet. So let me go ahead and buy these.
Yes.
Do that. Spear blade, 0 gravity, 2nd gear. That should be it. Go to arts. Let's use them. Nice. Alright. So with all that done, I'm going to go back to the junk shop. In fact, I can do it right here, since wherever the junks is, the same shops are. So yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of upgrading, and I'll be with you shortly. Alright, I'm back. I upgraded everybody's equipment, and I decided on something. I've normally only put side quests in separate videos unless it's forced on you, but I feel these two are exceptions. So I will show these in full. The first one that I want to show off is over in Aerith Sea. We need to find Muriel and talk to her. We're looking to clear the Missing Boy quest. I think she's found during the day. Okay, looks like it was during the night, actually. But yes, we need to clear the Missing Boy quest. You may need to do a quest called Investigating Satoral if you haven't done her quest at Alchemoth at this point. I did mention that earlier ago in the skill trees segment. But let's talk to her. Have you seen a boy called Tealin anywhere? Please tell me more. Yeah. I'm really worried. No one I asked knows where he is. I'd been asking people until our communications went down. He's just a little boy. I can't stop worrying about him. He must still be in Alchemoth. But there's no way I can go there. Alright. Okay, so we need to find a boy named Tealin. As she says, he's hiding in Alchemoth, but unfortunately, we can't skip travel there anymore. For some reason. In order to get there, we need to take the transporter at the center gate to enter Alchemoth that way. So, why can't we skip travel anywhere in Alchemoth? Well, it's pretty dangerous. Yeah, this place is infested with high-level Telethia. At least it's a pretty decent place to level grind, along with the newly opened up Tefra Cave I mentioned back at the skill tree segment. Anyway, Tealin can be found somewhere on the south side of this city, at the first floor. And actually, he's right there. So, I'll meet you over there. Oh, here you are, kid. I nearly got killed trying to find you.
You.
Muriel asked you to come look for me. She's waiting by the ether plant at Aerith Sea. Thank you, I'll go to her. Alright, let's just skip travel back over to the ether plant and finish this one off. Tealin was safe. Oh, that's such a relief. I was beside myself with worry. Alright. We've done it. But that's not the actual quest I was looking for. No, this was the prerequisite. Let's grab that, and let's talk to Tealin, as his quest is pretty interesting. Oh, he's down below. Let me see it. Okay. Tealin. That's not you. Okay, he's found during the day. Makes sense. He's a little boy. Should be in bed. Anyway, his quest is a fairly interesting one.
Yeah.
He wants to start research to see if he can turn Telethia back into High Entia. Sounds pretty significant to the plot, and trust me, it is in a way. Hey, what's up? A bit of trouble? Hey, can you hear me out? My professor told me something before he turned into a Telethia. He said there's a secret lab somewhere in the tomb. Apparently it was used for some kind of research on the Telethia. Anyway, I was thinking, there might be a way to change everyone back to normal in there. That's what my professor said. But I'm still just a kid. I can't get there on my own. Please, can you help me? A Telethia laboratory? It sounds like the sort of place there might be a way to do it. That was a sentence. It's our best hope. If it's there, we should be able to find it. I wouldn't want you to put yourself in too much danger. Neroth hated people being reckless, but it makes you happy to hear you say that. Alright, we need to collect the Telethia research from the Telethia laboratory in the High Entia tomb. We actually need the High Entia emblem in order to access it. The very first thing I mentioned in the video. So, let's get out of this dialogue here and head over to the High Entia tomb. That secret lab is actually, as you can see right here, behind the ceremony hall. I hope I'm correct with this. So, since we have the High Entia emblem key item, this wall opens up. And behind here? Alright. Okay. We've got a powerful Telethia blocking the way. I think he actually is blocking the way. But it is only alerted by sound. I believe you can sneak past it. Yes, you can sneak past it. And you can just grab this and leave. And hey, this room was featured in a cutscene before. Quite interesting. But anyway, now that we've got that for Tealin, we can head out of here. Are these the documents? They're really dirty. Must be because they're so old. Interesting stuff. These are the ones, alright. They're all about the Telethia. Thanks, guys. I don't know how far I can get, but I won't let my professor down. I don't want to just sit around feeling down anymore. I'll find a way to make everyone back to normal again. Thanks again for your help. Alright. There we go. That's all done. This seemed like a random quest to do, but trust me, it's relevant to the game's main plot. It just won't become immediately apparent. Just like the next quest that I want to show off. Let's head back to Colony 6. So this next one is a surprise quest, and can be found by approaching the northern entrance gate outside of the colony. There's someone collapsed over here. Wonder who it is. Melancholy Tyrea. Carry Tyrea to Junks for medical treatment. Do you remember her?
Who's this?
Ain't she the one who attacked us in the capital?
You!
Tyrea! What are you doing here? You're hurt.
Do not touch me! Vile girl!
Watch it! Oh.
Tyrea, what happened?
Is she dead?
No. It looks like she just passed out. Let's get her to the infirmary. Rhine!
Come on, why me?
Please.
Is she okay?
Her injuries aren't severe. When the Bionis awoke, the ether flow around the colony became unstable. Maybe that's why she lost consciousness.
No, that's not what I meant.
You mean, why didn't she become a Telethia?
Precisely.
For pure-blooded High Entia to become Telethia, the ether energy surrounding the Bionis has to be above a certain level. Luckily, the level of ether energy here is not as high as on the upper regions of Bionis. That may be what kept her safe. Or perhaps...
Perhaps what?
No. It's nothing.
Something about this makes me feel uneasy.
I know what you mean. We'll have to keep an eye on her recovery.
Why does she hate you so much, Melia? You're both High Entia. Is being pure-blooded really that important?
Tyrea's birth mother is most likely my stepmother. You don't mean... Umea? Yes. I heard about it from Callian after I returned from the tomb. Mother was the leader of the Inquisitors, a secretive organization operating in the shadows of the Imperial household. The group plotted to maintain the Imperial bloodline through a clandestine ritual. A ritual where Tyrea was conceived.
And she was secretly raised as an Inquisitor assassin? Hold on a sec. Are you saying that Tyrea is Callian's half-sister?
That's right. Then isn't she in the same position as you? Mm-hmm.
That is correct.
Tyrea! You're awake!
I had more right to the throne than she ever did. Were it not for the consort system that has so polluted the pride of our people, it would have been me, a pure-blooded High Entia who would build the future of our people. But you... You are a hypocrite. Just like me. If we are honest, what is the difference? You too would take the lives of your own people to protect your bloodline. Melia, you too are nothing but an assassin.
You're wrong.
I don't buy that for a second.
Rhine!
Pride of your people? How about you're jealous of Melia?
Do you really think I would be jealous of her?
Ain't ya? You're envious of her, right? Of how she lives her life. You just want everyone to feel sorry for you, for being in the shadows all your life.
How dare you? No Hom speaks to me like that.
I'm saying that you'll never have a life like Melia's. You don't have the faintest idea why Melia's been fighting. Even if you'd been born in her place, the Emperor still would have chosen her as his successor. Succeeding the Imperial line ain't all about blood. It's about taking on the will to do whatever it takes, for your land, for your people, when the time comes. That's what makes Melia different from you.
How dare you?
Both of you, stop this! This is no time for pointless bickering.
He's right. We survivors shouldn't be fighting amongst ourselves. Right, time's up. I want the room cleared out.
Yeah, okay.
And you need to calm down and get some rest.
Ugh. Me? Envious? I only think of my people. What is that?
What's going on?
Look! Over there! The colony!
Telethia!
Guys, she's gone.
Tyrea, you mean? Could that Telethia be her?
No. At least, I'm fairly certain.
What?
There's no time now. We must pursue it.
Very interesting. This is literally the only side quest that has voiced cutscenes. But anyway, we need to head to Magna Forest. Because, yeah. It's actually where we fought a Telethia before, over by the lakeside. You might remember it. But, I'm not going to teleport there immediately because it starts the battle off right away. I'm going to teleport here because I want to do a little bit of prep. Because the enemy is kind of high level.
It must be Tyrea after all.
What do we do? Do we have to fight her?
There's no time to think about it. Ready yourselves!
It's a mysterious Telethia at level 80. There's a chance you might be a bit underleveled for this. In fact, quite underleveled for this. So that's why I did not teleport here directly. So that I could boost our levels a bit. You'll need either Shulk or Melia as well so that you can dispel its Soul Read aura. Other than that, it can also absorb your talent gauge, cause sleep, and has a talent art that inflicts bind. Oh, Melia. Oh, Melia. Okay. I was not paying attention. I should have healed her. But it also has another talent art at level 9. This thing right here. If you don't have Monado Shield up to level 9, you won't be able to block it. So, might as well. Make sure you have that. And I'm going to see if I can get Melia back up. There we go. I got enough. Got enough party gauge. So let's revive her. Okay, thank you for healing her right away. Alright. Probably not a great party composition because because these are all fragile characters. Yeah, now that I think about it, this wasn't a great party composition. Oh well. As long as you keep doing stuff that I can easily counter. Okay. I'm just waiting for you to do the Soul Read aura. Come on. Hey, if you're gonna keep doing your talent arts, then that'll be fine.
Sorry.
Very easy to counter with.
This is the Monano's power!
Everyone ready for a chain attack?
Roger.
Alright.
All systems go.
Come on. If you can divert your attention somewhere else, please do it.
We can definitely do this.
Come on.
What? What? Monano, lend us your power.
Ultimate Cannon 9. Alright. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and do shield,
I have to protect everyone.
and then do a chain attack.
Backslash. Sharla.
Okay. My rifle's getting Melia. Your turn. My turn.
Alright, chain attack, whatever.
Oh, bravo. We're counting on you.
Excellent edge.
Fire. That's cool.
Okay, guys. Now we're pulling together.
That's right, Shulk.
We can definitely do this. Backslash.
Oh,
This will leave a mark.
we got him toppled. Damn it. Waited a bit too long.
All together now.
You said it, Shulk.
Oh, our shield actually ran out.
Heal.
Okay.
Flowing through me.
See it.
Yeah, you know what? Keep doing this. Don't do your soul read aura.
One will hit.
Melia.
I prefer it.
Don't get stuck in a rut. My thanks. Good to go. I cannot abide.
There we are.
Fate. Shulk, I must.
I know.
Stop!
Tyrea! You're safe.
You do realize that Telethia is Umea.
Umea?
I was pursuing Umea. Even though she knew it was her fate to transform, she remained faithful to the Bionis.
But why? Didn't she feel betrayed?
Everyone has their own beliefs, and what they believe is their own choice. Umea adhered to her path. I pursued her so that I could fulfill her final wish.
Her final wish?
Umea was imprisoned within the Tower of Investigation. She told me that after she transformed into a Telethia, I was to destroy her as quickly as possible. She wished to sacrifice herself to the Bionis. At least, that is what I believed at first. But I now understand Umea's true desire. That is why I must...
This is my responsibility.
Melia, why?
Father entrusted me with the Empire and its people. What I believe in is the will of those struggling to survive. I have to fight if I am to convey this to the next generation. Besides, Umea is your birth mother. There is no need for you to carry out such an unpleasant task.
Is the same not true of you? You may not be of her blood, but you still think of her as your...
This is a duty that my father and brother conferred upon me.
Melia.
Tyrea, I believe you and I are alike.
Alike! Never, vile girl! My gratitude for assisting Umea. I mean, Mother.
Tyrea.
Well, there she goes.
Is she going to be okay on her own?
She'll be all right. We and Tyrea share the same goal. Our paths are sure to meet again.
Yeah, you're right. Melia, what did you mean just now? When you said you and Tyrea are alike?
Tyrea must be half Homs, just like me.
What? But the wings on her head.
Not all half-blooded High Entia have small wings, only the majority. Some are indistinguishable from pure-blooded High Entia. Dominant and recessive inheritance. I've studied this.
So that's why.
Melia, do you think Yumea knew this would happen?
Perhaps. Actually, she had to have known. At least, that's what I believe.
She was her mother after all. She must have been aware.
Yes.